In the beginning, the scene shifts to Venice and there was an auction going on here, where all the rich people of the city participated. A lot of people come and wear their masks and sit in this auction. We also see the lead actor of this story, Cyrus, who had again made a new theft planning. Well, this auction was going on in Venice, but its live streaming was also going on in London. That is, some buyers were sitting here in Venice and some buyers were sitting in London. With this, we can also see Cyrus's team, which included Denton, Camilla, Magnus Meeson, Luke, and himself Mastermind Cyrus. This auction also had a lot of cameras that the police were sitting and monitoring. These police officers have another officer whose name is Gladwood. Her nickname is Abby and she had met Cyrus before and she was on a special mission to catch him. But Cyrus was very smart and he had escaped from her eyes. But this time Abby was ready with her entire team that as soon as Cyrus stole and she caught him red-handed. And with this, the auction begins, in which a painting named Vancouver comes on the first number. It was very expensive. Everyone starts investing in their auction and at the end, that painting sells for 2 crores. But these thieves were sitting in the middle of it, because Magnus had already stolen that auction painting before reaching the customer and sold it on the spot at the same price in the black market into crores. After that comes the time of the most special and expensive painting of this auction. Basically, it was a creation that was made through a creator named Annette. He didn't want to tell his identity, so he wore a mask on his face. This mask will remind you of Squid Game somewhere. Now, the special presentation of Annette was called NFT. It has nearly 200 cameras that capture live action and create an AI-generated portrait. Then its auction starts. As soon as the money increases from 1.52 to crores and to 2.5 crores, Nissan had already made her planning and she says lift. And with her saying, the lights there turn off, there are explosions, the whole place is in chaos. All the rich family members sitting in the auction think about running away from there and here, Cyrus does his job. Basically, the 2.5 crore bill was put by Cyrus and now because of the money exchange, he asks Annette to call on his own yard and says that the painting will also be taken there. That is, your creation and along with this, we will also give you your amount there. But the Abby sitting upstairs was watching all this and this time she wanted to catch Cyrus red-handed. She did not want to let him run away from there. So she puts all her police officers behind her, after which the whole Venice comes to the chase sequence. Sometimes while running, sometimes on the roadside, sometimes in the special river there. They also have a speedboat and one by one they are chasing all the police officers. Barriers and these police officers get stuck in the way. Then the scene shifts to the private yacht and these people party all night after the payment of the money. Meanwhile, Abby continues her investigation and when she was looking at everyone sitting in the auction, she sees Denton, who was a member of Cyrus's team. So somehow they reach him. On the other hand, the real reality of these thieves comes in front of us. Basically, when they stole this special creation NFT, its prices increased in the black market, from 3 to 4 crores, from 4 to 5, then it reached 8. But to activate it, its owner had to be there and the 2 crores they had transferred to Annette. They had transferred it by selling the old Vancouver painting. With this, Cyrus also tells him that due to the theft of this painting, it used to sell at 2.5 crore but today its price is going up to 8 crore. You are thinking that we kidnapped you but we will distribute half of the money in the black market so you will benefit and we will benefit too. So there is nothing to worry about. Just party. Meanwhile, we see Danton who is sitting in front of Abby right now and he was answering all the questions asked by Abby. Abby says in anger that we will put you in jail and your Vancouver incident will also come in front of people. So it would be better to give us all the information about your team. On which Denton tells that Cyrus and his team are in London right now. If you want to catch him, you will have to go with me there. After this news, Abby reaches Interpol, FUC, the CBI or Police Investigation Department of London, where he meets another officer named Haxley. He tells that I have recently learned from secret sources that the biggest mafia in the city, Jorgen Lars, who shook the entire share market, took big trades, and with this, due to high stocks, he made a lot of profit. But the reason for this profit was not the ups and downs in the market, but the ups and downs in the city. The dam water spread in the city, the whole flood came there. People died and this time same to same he is going to do it with another city, in which another big mafia named Leviathan is included. I have been chasing Lars for many years. That's why I left my special man whose name is Digger in his team. And I got to know from him that in the next 2 months he is going to do this work. and Leviathan will be paid in the form of gold. Meaning gold, and that to not a small 1 or 2 kilos, full 10 tons. I need you to stop this payment. So Abby says, what can I do in this? Only the police can do this. Where Huxley said that the police don't have so much brain to think like a thief and catch those thieves. For this, a special thief will be needed. And you know who that special thief is? Where Abby says no, as you are thinking that I will go to Cyrus. Ask him for help and he will also say yes for this work. Tada bye-bye. Where Huxley explains to him that if Cyrus and his team don't say yes for this deal, then many innocents will die. Anyway, Lars, who is going to pay his payment to Leviathan in the form of gold, has to stop him and catch him red-handed. And this is where the great story starts. Abby reaches Cyrus, and she tells us that once in Paris, the two of us had a good romance for 5 days, where Cyrus says that it was not 5 but 7 days. And we had fallen in love with each other to a great extent. You deceived me. Where Abby says that you were also on the mission of theft, and I was also on the mission of catching you from the police. So the love between us was not love. It was just an act. Lane Cyrus is a passionate man. He says that whatever happened, tell me the reason for coming here. On which Abby says that you will have to steal for me. And all the details that Huxley gave her. Now Abby gives it to Cyrus and tells him that you have to steal the gold. Then the next day Cyrus goes to his team and keeps this proposal and tells them that this work is difficult, but it is necessary to do it. Because if this payment is made, Leviathan removes the barriers of his dam, then the whole city will be flooded. A lot of innocents will die. So here the team members start taking out all the details one by one, that how will their payment be done. First of all, the gold will come out. From there, the truck will be loaded. Then a plane named Skycruise will be loaded. And before we reach the destination of that plane, we have to steal that gold code. Now this work was difficult because their own goons were also present in the plane, and Skycruise was being tracked from above, that to through the big officers of the city. So now everyone gets involved in their own work, that how will these people reach there. After which Miss Moon tells that if we make a plane that looks the same, which gives the same rating on the radar signal, that is, the Boeing 380 looks the same, then it will be easy to steal this gold. But from where to get such a plane? Where Cyrus tells that in that auction there was a rich man named Molson who had a plane that looked a little bit like it. Maybe he will help us in this work. After which they reach near Molson, which shows his beautiful plane, which was forbidden to fly in the city, because there were lead glasses on the top and bottom of the plane, and the exhaust was so loud that it was banned. For example, you can understand them in comparison to the super bikes that run on the road. As soon as the police see the super bike, they stop it and first ask if its exhaust has been installed in the aftermarket somewhere. So, there were some such things here too. Anyway, first Molson forbids him to give his plane, where Abby says that it is illegal to keep this plane. If you don't listen to us, you will be beaten by the police. After that, he starts telling special things about his plane, that he can pole dance in it. He can also send a message through lead. This plane is the fastest plane ever, not according to the fight, but according to the business trip. Anyway, the plane was found, and after that the next biggest challenge was how to make the radar system useless. And for that, they had to create a PSI, that is, portable signal interface, which was to provide only one signal even though there were two planes in the sky. But the problem was that when these two planes were in front of each other and when the connectivity was set, two planes would show up at the headquarters. It is important to have a special man, where Abby tells that I know a person in Brussels, whose name is Harry. He can help us in this work, but he is a very naughty and spoiled kind of person. Where Cyrus says that let's talk once. After which these people reach Brussels and meet Harry. Basically, he is handicapped and forbids Abby to do this work because there was a robbery in it. And the enemy of which they were going to steal the goods was the biggest mafia in the city, Jorgen Lars. As soon as he hears about Harry, the city gets upset and he clearly refuses for this work. Where Cyrus says that in return for this work, I will give you 10 lakhs. With this, the deal is finalized and the whole team gets to work. After that, the whole plane is made over to make it look like another plane. And then the PSI is made, a portable signal interface, but it looked like a bomb. So Abby says that if its parts are divided and distributed among all the people and then assembled in the plane, then the work will be easy, on which Misson says that okay, I will do this work. And then after a lot of hard work, after getting to know people well, now it's time for the final day. Everyone was ready in their own get-up. That is Money Heist from Tokyo. If you haven't seen Money Heist, then I will seriously recommend you to go and watch it once. Here, these people had booked their tickets for some economy and some business. After reaching there, they learned that Lars had sent his goons here, 2 in business class and 3 in economic class. Along with this, 10 tons of gold was going in the lowest portion. After which, it's time for one of the best parts of this story, where everyone was active and now ready to commit this theft. Neeson had hacked all the access cameras, so that the upcoming activities could be observed. Magnus had also hacked Wind to the washroom and kept half of the PSI parts. In the meantime, Cyrus finds out that one of his men, Luke, did not board this plane. When Cyrus calls him, Luke tells him that there is a lot of risk in this work, so I will not be able to do this work. Where Abby says that no problem, now that we have reached here, we will not go without doing this work, so Abby takes care of the rest of the work, and the half of the parts kept in the washroom of the economy class. She comes and takes it to her in a business class washroom and starts assembling the PSI there. But due to turbulence on the way, the machine falls and breaks. That means they have an L. It takes a long time. In fact, the goons also wanted to use the washroom now. If they had come and seen the PSI machine, they would have shot everyone. The whole plan would have been ruined. But then Cyrus arrives there on time and they both start fixing the PSI machine together. In between, the goon comes and tells them to come out, where they both pretend to have sex in the washroom. They make a lot of funny noises. In between, our Camilla had reached below the Boeing 380 and was waiting for the PSI to be activated. On the other side, there was a signal of 2 big planes in the headquarters, where if Harry's colleague tells her that we will get further information about this, should be given to the superintendent, where Harry says that this will definitely be a normal glitch, it will be fine in a minute or 2. The matter was getting out of hand, where Harry says that you always blame me and take advantage of my handicap and want to be superior to me, so I will not do this job much now and I will leave. Well, it was just his planning and in the meantime, PSI is ready. The signal is received. Tokyo connects its plane with that Boeing 380 and now only one plane is visible on the radar. After which, the most exciting part of this movie begins. Magnus arrives in the lower locker segment and tries to break that lock with his hyper-technology machines so that all the gold can be brought out of the locker. But in the meantime, the goons have some doubts and they try to reach their gold. Now, Magnus was breaking that lock. On the other hand, the goons were reaching him, so Cyrus has to stop them. And now here comes one of the best fights of this movie, where while walking inside the plane, thumps, kicks, slaps all start to fall. On the other hand, the pilots sitting in the cockpit feel that something is definitely going wrong in the plane. So Harry contacts them and tells them that there is a lot of turbulence ahead. The weather is not clear, so you will have to land this plane on a nearby airfield. So considering Harry's point of view, the pilot tries to land that plane on a nearby airfield. But that area was too small. That is, the runway was not proper to land a plane. But he uses his full power to save all the civilians and land the plane safely. Although he succeeds in this task, after which Tokyo also lands the plane on that small runway with full power. But now this has also reached Lars. His plane, which was filled with gold, has been landed not in Europe but on another airfield. So he tells his people that whoever has stopped my gold from reaching me, finish it there. Bring it to me. In the meantime, Magnus apologizes to Cyrus that he couldn't steal the gold all the time. And now all this gold will go to these goons and they will finish their deal. Well, they had no other choice. All these goons now go to Europe in the same plane with Tokyo to deliver that gold to Lars. Meanwhile, Leviathan also arrives near Lars, who was about to bring a flood in the city in exchange for that gold, so that the rates of stocks would increase and both of them would benefit by suppressing them. But Leviathan also got the news that the plane in which their gold was about to arrive has been hijacked, where Lars tells that the whole situation is under control. Your goods will reach you. We have to somehow finalize this deal today. Meanwhile, there are a lot of fights in the plane as well. Anyway, now that the PSI had also broken, the radar system starts showing the plane from Tokyo. On top of that, the government's planes are about to attack. But when Cyrus and Tokyo's mind goes, they turn the plane upside down and right down. Civilians are present in this plane, do not attack. Because of this, the fighter jets also do not attack them at that time and start following them while tracking them, so that wherever this plane lands, the police can reach there and pressurize them. And now this plane directly reaches just below the large fort of Lars. Garden Warden is completely destroyed. In fact, the main wall there. The security wall also breaks and 10 tons of gold falls from the plane. Leviathan says that now I will take this gold and the deal between you and me is also over. Lars gets angry and he shoots Leviathan there. Anyway, the police who was tracking them had also reached there, and they were going to catch Lars, but Lars says that this is my private property and this thief was going to deal with Leviathan. So these people are the real culprits and they killed Leviathan. So you take them and get my property vacated as soon as possible. But then Cyrus comes to his senses and in the plane, which had a big lead on the other side. In fact, the many cameras of NFT were on that plane. With his help, the police are shown video footage that Lars was the real mafia who had made a gold deal with Leviathan and was planning to drown the entire city. Well, now Interpol was also involved in this work, i.e. Abby and Hexley, whose purpose was to stop this deal, and the gold that was being distributed in an illegal way should be confiscated. So the police come and take all the gold and these thieves have nothing. But with this, the truth of Hexley also comes in front of Abby. Basically, he told the fighter jets in the sky to destroy these goons' planes. But Toki and Cyrus Brain saved them because they wrote on the plane that civilians were present in it. When the truth came out, he decided to leave the police department. Well, now he had joined Cyrus' team. Along with this, a backstory is also known. When she was a little girl, so from a big art gallery, someone gifted a good painting to Abby's mom, who was a teacher in a school, but some goons stole that painting. Despite searching a lot, neither did they find the goons nor the painting. As Cyrus says, I bought that painting twice before. Maybe you will be impressed by seeing it, and their broken love story is also created nicely. And then comes the mind-bending plot of this movie, where we can see that when Magnus broke the lock, he replaced the real gold with fake gold. That is, the gold in the hands of the police was only iron bricks, and the real gold was blown away from the sky at that time. And today, these people came to take that gold from the sea, and with this great story ends here. Thanks for watching our movie explainer video. If you are new to our channel, then subscribe the channel and stay with us.